It is hard to be financially free. It is hard to be charismatic. It is hard to be fit. It is hard to be many of the things that you want. So, how on earth are we going to actually do these things, but not only do them, but actually, do them? Because a lot of the times we're told to just do it, but what happens is we end up failing. So how are we going to get around this and make things easy so we actually stick to it? Okay, well, this is all lovely and stuff, but how can we apply this in our lives, right? Well, there are two main things that we need to implement so we can start achieving our most ambitious goals out there. And that is to have set minimums and to start to break things down. We will start with the minimums. Okay, so things are much easier when they are habits. It is easy to just do it when that is something that you have been doing and there is no question of doing it. But what usually happens is that we set out our goal, like working out at the gym for 1 hour a day. We do very well in the first few stages of the journey, but then we end up feeling unmotivated and questioning even if it's worth it. We know why we should do it and why it is not worth it, but sometimes it is very hard. So here's where we introduce our minimums. We need to start small to tackle something big. Alright, so in order to mold our mind into, adopting a new habit and actually sticking with it, we need to get past a few obstacles. And that is, one of them is lack of motivation, and the second is start to question why we're doing said habit. Right? We need to get over them, and the way we do it is by setting minimums of the habits. Okay, so we have to be realistic with ourselves here. Like, please, at least I know that I'm not going to be disciplined 24/7. I know I'm going to fall behind schedule. I know things are going to come up in my life that I don't want them to, that are going to get in the way of me doing certain things. And there's just many things that happen here and there. And well, you have to work with that, right? And the way we do that is asking ourselves, what is the minimum, right, of whatever habit we need to do or task that we are willing to do, even if something shows up and we don't have motivation to do it. An example of this is, instead of saying, you know what, I need a minimum of 1 hour of exercise to complete my goal, be realistic with yourself and tell yourself, okay, you know what, that is not the minimum, that is the optimum, right? That is where we want to be, but we know that that is not going to happen all the time. So to get things started, let's just start with, 10 minutes, just 10 minutes of exercise. I think that's pretty doable. I mean, even if stuff comes up and even if I don't feel motivated, I just set up a timer and say, let's go on a walk for 10 minutes. And there we go. The goal in setting the minimums is not the work. It is to tackle the lack of motivation and questioning of our tasks. It is almost the snowball that starts the avalanche here. You might not want to read 300 plus pages of a book, but you can at least read 2 sentences, right? You might not want to work out for 1 hour, but at least you can do 10 minutes. So set your minimums. The goal in the minimums is to create a comfortable habit, comfortable enough to do it even if there is no motivation. That way we don't feel guilty because we at least did some exercise. Please don't create the minimum to be 59 minutes, because if you do, you're just missing the point here. Okay, the second thing is that we need to break things down smaller into small until it becomes easy. Why? Because you see, when we look at a big project, a big goal, a big whatever, we immediately, we get overwhelmed. We get, started. Our mind starts wondering about how much time it's going to take, how much effort, how much. It's just going to be huge. So what we need to do is take it down a notch. We have to be very, very logical in this. Okay, so if we feel overwhelmed by something big because it will lead us to no action, then we just need to start with small things that aren't overwhelming and that we will actually do them. We cannot build Rome in one day or in 1 hour, but we can do a brick by a brick and then on, and then we have Rome. Okay, so let's look at the exercise example. So our goal is to work out for at least 1 hour a day. We don't want to, so we will break things down. Instead of looking at it as 1 hour, let's say we just start with doing 10 push-ups. Then we take a rest for 1 minute. Think we could do it again? Absolutely. We can go again and do 10 push-ups and rest for 1 minute. There we go. We have already completed 20 push-ups. Now let's repeat this 3 more times and then we get 50 push-ups. We then move on to pull-ups and repeat the process. Okay, so before knowing it, you're already halfway done. We repeat the same process with squats and lunges for the lower body, and then boom, we are done with our 1 hour of exercise. Guys, this is exactly how we conquer our goals. We break things down into, bite size so we can start eating them or, with ease rather than trying to put a whole plate into our mouth that we know does not fit, right? So this is the key right here. We need to break things down into bite size so that we can get around the lack of motivation and questioning of why we're even doing this. Okay, so let's recap. In order to achieve our most ambitious goals out there, what do we need to do? We need minimums and we need to break things down. That is it. That is what we need to achieve our most ambitious goals, right? So don't try and eat the whole plate of food. Go a bite at a time, and trust me, you will finish the plate.